What's up YouTube, Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh here, and today I'm coming with some kind of a new mini-series I'm going to do. I'm going to attend my nationals in 2 weeks, and I have some deck builds I've put together, but I don't really know what to play. So I'm going to show you all of these decks I'm thinking of taking to my nationals, and yeah, maybe some of you can help me improve the builds. Give your ideas and help me choose what I should actually take to my nationals. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to start off with my Evilswarm, since this is the most recent build or the most recent deck I took to an actual event, my regionals, and I still had this laying around, so I'm going to profile this one first. Of course, I made some changes with the new stats coming out since my regional. But I still think Evilswarm, even with the hands going around, it's still a pretty solid deck. So yeah, let's show the deck build. Of course, you still have your Rescue Rabbit, along with triple Heliotrope. I still play triple Kyrkion, triple Caster, triple Thunderbird. Even though Thunderbird has lost some of its strength for me, because you can chain his effects and the damage up. So if you're going to, if your opponent has a sad monster and you're going to attack with the Thunderbird, attack the sad monster, and the sad monster is going to be one of the hands, either Fire Hand, but let's say Fire Hand for this example. Fire Hand can actually destroy Thunderbird, and you won't be able to chain Thunderbird so to that effect. So Thunderbird is just going to die in that example. But I still like triple Thunderbird over triple Mandragora, so I still play 3 Thunderbird and 2 Mandragora. I believe this was the monster lineup for my regional. I added 2 Maxi in the main deck, mostly because of Madolche. You really need Maxi in this format right now. It's just too strong. You're going to go 1 for 1 with it pretty much always when you drop it. Unless you want, unless you want your opponent not to go to an XC if they have like 2 level 4s and you're going to drop this in their draw standby phase. Your opponent might choose not to go in an XC and you go -1 neg 1. But regularly, when your opponent summons Mew Wheel or something, or activates Angeli's effect, Hood Kick's effect, or your opponent's activating Artifact Sanctum, or whatever, you're going to go at least 1 for 1. And most of the time, you're going to plus off this. And that's really necessary in this deck right now, because that could get you to an Evilswarm Exiton play, which is pretty much the strongest thing you can do in this deck. Exiton with protection from Infestation, which is my first of my 3 spells. I still play 3, I know it's searchable and all, but I just want to see this card when I make a play. I don't want to have to make a play to get this card. I want to see it before I make the play, so I know my play is going through. Like I said, with Exiton, I want to be able to summon Exiton, then if it gets bottomless, chain Exiton's effect, and then your opponent's probably going to chain like Breakthrough Skill. Then I want to be able to activate Pandemic to make sure my Exiton actually goes off. So yeah, I just think 3 of this is a necessity, whatever, is necessarily. 1 reinforcement of your army, triple upstart still, just for consistency. You want to open your Exiton or your Ophion pretty much all the time. Triple Mystical Space Typhoon, with Fiendish being replaced by Breakthrough Skill in pretty much every deck. I feel Mystical Space Typhoon is a bit worse than it could be right now, but I still feel 3 is the number you have to go with, in Evilswarm at least. That's for the spells. For traps, 2 Blackhorn of Heaven in the main deck. It's just too strong not to play. You're playing a relatively slow deck in Evilswarm. You need to be able to stop some of the pushes Dolce are going to make. Then 2-dimensional Prison for the hands, of course, because yeah, the hands are a really legitimate problem for Evilswarm. But this helps you play around those hands. Infestation Infection, of course, best card in the deck. Bottomless, Compulse, Torrential, and Warning. And then I play 2 breakthrough skill, mostly for artifacts, being able to stop mortal attack twice, pretty much. Saving your Ovion, just a really good card right now. And then last for my main deck I play 2 Wiretap. This is for the opposing Blackhorn of Heaven, the opposing Wiretaps, the opposing Solemn Warnings. You have to get your Xyz plays off. In this deck you invest too much for to go into an Xyz. You invest a lot of cards to go into either Ovion or go into Exiton. And with everyone main decking Blackhorn of Heaven, or at least siding it, you don't want to fall your Xyz into a Blackhorn of Heaven and just you go -1, -2, whatever you're going. You want to be able to stop that, so Wiretap is really important right now in Evilswarm. I didn't play this for the longest time, and I just felt that I'd lose to Blackhorn of Heaven too much, too often. So yeah, I opted to play these 2 in the main deck. That's it for the main deck. For the extra we play 2 Ovion instead of 3. This is mainly because I needed to make some room, and realistically speaking, you're pretty much never going to go into your third Ovion. With Exiton Knight being a thing for a while now, you're going to go into him more often than you're going into Ovion. So if you're going to play any of these 2 at 3, it should be Exiton. But I don't have a third one, and I think 2 is fine of him as well. 2 Exitons. It's enough most of the time. So 2 Ovion, 2 Exiton. 1 Behemoth, just in case you need it. Diamond Dyer. 2 Silent on Arc. Heartland Drago, just really good to get into the to get that last 2000, just make that final push. Abyss Dweller, really good against the hands. Key Beetle for your soft locks with your Floodgate cards, game 2 and 3. Crazy Box for skill drain, really good against the hands. Cowboy, 800 burn min phase 2, and Ragnar Zero, pretty good against Madolche. Then for the side deck, 1 Tony King, still like this as an anti-meta card. It's just still a really solid first turn normal summon. The 3rd Max C for spells, Dark Hole, against already established fields like Mermail, Gergia, it's Dark Hole, the armor, really good. Dimensional Fissure, one of your Floodgate cards. I'm playing 1 Twister right now, mainly because of Rivalry. Rivalry is, I think, is going to see a rise of play at the Nationals because of Madolche. Rivalry is a pretty good card against Madolche. So yeah, I wanted to have a quick answer for that along my 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, so I put 1 Twister in the side deck. Then 1 Full House, mostly for Madolche. 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror for Bujin. It's alright against artifacts, but it's mostly for Bujin. Triple Debunk is also really necessary for the hands. It's almost a viable card to main deck, but I couldn't find a room in this build. But it's pretty much hits everything except Gergia in this format right now. It's good against dragons, Mermail, the hands, which pretty much any deck plays right now, Bujin, etc. So 3 of those in the side. Another Floodgate, Soul Drain, good against Madolche, of course water, etc. Microcosmos, also a card I really wanted to main deck, but it didn't seem enough for me to actually feel like it made a difference in the main deck. So I just put it back in the side. I think I mained it during my regional, but yeah, put it back in the side. And then 2 Emptiness for the Key Beetle lock. It's pretty strong against Artifact. And of course just any deck that spams slots, good against Madolche as well, so 2 Emptiness in the sides. So that's it for the deck. The build I'm currently thinking of for taking to my Nationals. In the comment section down below, let me know what you think of this deck. Is this a viable deck for my Nationals? I'll spoil the other options right now. I'm thinking Sylvans, Mermail, Artifacts or Hat deck, Trap, Tricks, Artifacts and Hands. What else was there? Sylvan, I think that's it. Yeah, that's probably it. If I'm forgetting something, you'll see a deck profile of that as well. In the comment section down below, let me know what you think of this deck, and whether it's viable or not for my nationals. And I'll see you guys with the next profile for the series. It's probably going to be Mermail or Artifacts. Yeah. Alright, bye.